So before breakfast and before coffee, we got to address a couple things. Our body detoxes 3 different ways: elimination with poop and pee, perspiration, sweat, or respiration from breathing. We don't really think about that upon rising in the morning. We've been breathing all night, and that's part of our detox system, is through the breath. So first thing, follow into the bathroom. I don't want to show you this because it's kind of gross, but the toxins that you expel from breathing all night long, they build up on your tongue. This is overlooked a lot in health, but we just eat those toxins back in. Copper tongue scraper. Copper is naturally antimicrobial, so it works very well. I'm going to scrape my tongue. I don't want you to watch. Got our tongue scraped, the toxins off our tongue from respiration. Now another thing that slows us down is neurotransmitter waste, essentially metabolic waste that is in the brain from the use of the neurotransmitters throughout the night. And it prevents us from getting going in the morning because we have that metabolic waste. So what I like to do is take some activated charcoal, and what charcoal does is it actually binds to all those metabolic waste products, and it helps you get going. So I have that, and then we're gonna swig it down with some spring water with Himalayan sea salt. Himalayan sea salt's is essentially just electrolytes. So what that means is electrolytes. Essentially, electrolytes are little particles that are electrically conductive because we are electric. And so I guess that electric would need something to be conducive to it. So we need those electrolytes because we are electrical beings. So I put a little lemon in there to get you going, and it adds to the flavor, so it's good. We're going to swig our activated charcoal with our spring water. And then I don't necessarily care to eat organ meats, but I know that they have a lot of really good beneficial properties that we need. So I like to take an organ meat complex first thing in the morning. And activated charcoal, through 70 years of continuous study on rats, it continues to increase their lifespan 17 to 40%. That means if you live to be 100 on average, you could potentially live to 140 with literally just using activated charcoal. So what charcoal does is binds to all the toxins and helps you eliminate them. What's going on in sleep is that your body needs to sleep because it needs to detox. It needs to self-regulate. So with the use of charcoal, we can help our body because of the environment nowadays. It's super important to detox. And what's cool about charcoal is that in Scandinavian mythology, the coal biter was the runt of the litter of the family. That was the weakest and the most prone to injury if he were to go out and be exposed to the elements. So he would sit at home and keep the fire warm for when the rest of the family that was stronger, they would come home and they would have a warm house. Well, it was said that the coal biter sat around the fire, and the fire told him to eat little pieces of the charcoal. So from the age of 5 to 15, throughout this coal biter's adolescence, nobody really understood why they would eat the charcoal. But what would happen is a metamorphosis, and the weakest kid of the runt would then become the most capable, the most strongest of the whole family. So there's something to be said for charcoal, and the very first filament for the light bulb was actually made out of charcoal because there's an electric phenomenon occurring within charcoal. So if there's 4 elements, water, earth, fire, and air, this is a super important element to include. Charcoal. First line against acute poisoning in the hospitals, charcoal. So this is science. This is what they say for acute poisoning to use. So acute poisoning is what's happening from the environment. We're getting poisoned. So we need to use charcoal. Super important. Then we need to drink spring water first thing in the morning to hydrate from all the respiration. So I hope you learned something.